oxtail ingredients. 1/2 of a pound oxtail, 1/2 of a pound broad beans or pre-cooked canned buttered beans or broad beans, 1 stag scallion diced, 2 medium onions diced, 1 chocho peeled and diced optional, 1 small carrot diced, 1/2 sweet pepper diced, 1 small tomato diced, 8 garlic cloves, 1/2 green pepper, Scotch bonnet or real chili pepper optional, 1 ripe pepper, Scotch bonnet or real chili pepper, ginger, cut to size of your thumb for whole cloves, 1 and 1/2 tablespoon of sea salt, 1 teaspoon of parsley dried or fresh, 1 tablespoon of basil dried or fresh, 1 teaspoon of rosemary diced into grains, 1 teaspoon nutmeg grated, 1 teaspoon of grounded black pepper, 1 teaspoon of pimento seeds, 1 and 1/2 tablespoon of browning thyme, fresh pieces tied together the size of 1 finger, or 1 teaspoon, 1 tablespoon white vinegar, 1/4 cup coconut oil or olive oil. Instructions: 1. Wash the broad beans and soak for 15 minutes or more. This releases the gas from the beans. After that, pressure cook the soaked beans with 7 cups of waters. Gauge the stove on 4. It will take 20 minutes to pressure cook. Note: start the timing when it starts to whistle. Once it's cooked, 2. Remove the water, cover and put aside until you are ready for it. 2. The seasonings must first be stripped, washed and diced, then put together in a bowl. Keep the coconut oil and the browning separated. 3. Now put to heat a pressure cooker pot, and add the oil. After 2 minutes with the stove gauged at 8, add the oxtail, along with the seasonings. Stir in the ingredients, now cover well and allow to simmer for 4 minutes. 4. Next add the browning, stir in then cover properly for 2 minutes. 5. After that, add 4 cups of boiled hot water in the pot, followed by using the pressure cooker lid, cover it correctly. Once it starts to whistle, gauge the stove on low flame. Note: start the timing when it starts to whistle. Allow to pressure for 15 minutes. 6. After that is finished pressuring, remove the lid once it's cooled. 7. Then add the ketchup and the broad beans, followed by putting the stove gauge on 8. Allow to thicken for 5 minutes. Note: drain the water from the canned beans before you add it. It's finished. This recipe is servings for a small family.
We're going to cook oxtail and broad bean or butter bean. This is nearly ½ pound. But for this menu you can use ½ pound. 1 diced, peeled and diced chocho, half diced sweet pepper, a piece of garlic, 8 cloves of garlic crushed, 2 medium-sized onions chopped, 1 teaspoon of grated nutmeg, 1 teaspoon of grated nutmeg, 1 teaspoon of pimento seed, all-purpose, 1 tablespoon of dried basil or fresh basil, 1 teaspoon of dried parsley or fresh parsley, 1 tablespoon and 1 teaspoon of sea salt or 1 tablespoon of regular salt, 1 tablespoon and a half of browning, 1 diced Scotch bonnet pepper, 1 diced Scotch bonnet pepper, 4 whole cloves, 1 teaspoon of grounded black pepper, 2 stalks of scallion, green onion, chopped, 1 tablespoon of white vinegar, 1 tablespoon of fresh thyme or dry thyme, like a pinch of rosemary. Kind of just make it really fine. Break it up because I don't like to see these long leaves. So grind this up as fine as you can, such as this is rosemary. So kind of grind it up really fine like this. 1 teaspoon of rosemary. Put to boil 7 cups of water. Now, after 20 minutes after you soak the peas, put the peas in. Make sure your rubber is on good. We're going to pressure this for 20 minutes. Once it starts to whistle, we start to time it for 20 minutes. No, it took 8 minutes for it to, it took 8 minutes. No, it took 8 minutes for it to start whistling. No. Start timing it for 20 minutes and put the stove on 4 flame. See, that's done. You just check it at its tender. This took about 25 minutes. To be honest, I did do it for 20 minutes, but I feel that it needed about 3 to 5 minutes, so I pressured it for 5 minutes. So I'm gonna drain this, drain the water, put it in a plate and cover it until we are ready for it. This is cooked broad beans. Okay, now put to eat a pot, pressure cooking pot for 1 minute. I had 1/4 cup of oil. Now 1/4 cup of oil, add all the seasoning. The flame should be on 6. So let it stay like this and cover it. Now after 4 minutes like this, we're going to add the browning. Cover it because we're about to pressure this in about 2 minutes. We're going to add we're going to add 4 cups of water. Wait for it to whistle. Once it starts to whistle, put the stove on low, between off and low. After 15 minutes, check this. Check it together. See, it's breaking apart. I mean, this is good. So we're gonna put this up on high. Put this back to flame on high. Put the flame on 8. You want to check the meat and make sure it's cooked. This is cooked. See, look, You see, oxtail, you don't want to cook it too much in a kind and break apart. But you just want to cook it enough that it's cooked. Anyway, we're not going to pressure this no more, we're going to stew it. We're going to stew this for about, so now, because we didn't add any salt to this, we're going to now add the broad beans. And just cover this and let it simmer. After 5 minutes, from time to time, just check it. Just to see if it's sticking. After 5 to 6 minutes, with the flame on 8, we're going to add a quarter cup of ketchup. We're going to cook this for 1 minute and then finish transferring it to a different pot. Oxtail and broad bean. Oxtail and broad bean. This is oxtail and broad bean. That's oxtail and broad beans. Oxtail and broad bean. Oxtail and broad beans. Oxtail and broad beans.